I am the founder and CEO of 1 Million Women, and I'd like to welcome you all here today for this fabulous conference. Thank you so very much for inviting me to do the opening address. This actually goes to the heart and soul of what 1 Million Women is all about. Our whole reason for being is to shift attitudes and values, and to shape behaviours and to make behaviours shift and stick. So thank you for giving me this opportunity, but more importantly, thank you for everything that you are all doing, because what you do is assisting the communities to live with the least impact on the planet. So I may be the founder of 1 Million Women, but I'm certainly not some long-term green role model or a climate activist. I used to be a cosmetics manufacturer, and I didn't get the point on this until the middle of 2006. I had my head buried in the sand. I went along thinking I was just one person, and what could one person do really to make a difference? I thought that this issue was somebody else's problem. I thought if governments put in policies, well then that's when I would act. My life, my cosmetic career was all about over-packaging, plastic packaging, even microbeads in some of my products, and how you get somebody's product off the shelf so I could get mine on. But the very short story is that in the middle of 2006, I had an epiphany, and I changed. And I guess the epiphany was coming along for a while, but what actually changed my life forever was I got my electricity consumption down by 20%, our household electricity consumption down by 20%, just by being more vigilant around the house. And when I saw that energy bill, and I saw that I had saved all that money and all that pollution, I took ownership of the issue. I realised at that point that I was really powerful through the things that I do. And so I went on and got my household food waste down by something ridiculous like 80%. I stopped using plastic bags and buying things that were overpackaged. I stopped over-consuming, and I changed the way that I lived. And as you do, a few years later, I started a women's movement. And for those of you that don't know much about or anything about 1 Million Women, we're not an environmental organisation, we're not a lifestyle website, we are a movement. We're a movement of women and girls. We inspire, motivate, empower, but most importantly, we mobilise women and girls to take practical action on climate change through the way that we live, through the choices that we make every single day. And we focus on the key areas of daily living, how you get your household electricity consumption down. We focus on clean energy options, how to reduce your food waste. We address this crazy world of overconsumption. We talk about getting from A to B with the least impact on the planet. We focus on sustainable fashion and the economic power of women. And our aim is not to empower women and girls that are already in this space. It is to find those that aren't. It is to engage and empower women that sit outside of the green belt. Our website and all our campaigns and events and social media and everything we do shows you how to live with the least impact on the planet. So we have come a long way in the last 8 or 9 years. We are now a movement of 800,000 women and girls. Our blog last year got 4.5 million views. And our social media channels get between 5 and 10 million reach every single week. And to all the blokes in the room, this isn't about being anti-bloke at all. We love blokes involved. But this is just about enhancing and harnessing and dialing up the strengths of women. Women make 85% of the consumer decisions that affect the household's carbon footprint. Women are over half of the Australian electorate. We are powerful consumers and we are natural networkers. And women are a big niche market. When I was talking to Greg Freeman this morning, or over the weekend, he was telling me that Today, this 3 days, we have 150 presenters and 50% of them are women. And that everybody in the audience or the delegates, almost 50% are women. And that is just absolutely perfect. Waste in all forms is a huge topic for us. In Australia, we spend $10.5 billion on stuff we barely or never use. We waste 1 in 5 shopping bags of food. And the Australian Bureau of Statistics tell us that the biggest spend in the weekly budget is takeaway and eating out. And so when we're doing that, the stuff in our fridge is going to waste. Sweeping lifestyle change is a huge topic. It's not easy. I know you know this. It's not easy to change the way that we live. Because to do it, we have to do it inside this structured framework of our high consumption society. And it's just not good enough to push the boundaries within that framework. It just won't get us outside the framework enough. I think to profoundly change the way that we live, we need to have a really deep understanding that what we do matters, that how we live shapes the world emotionally and deeply in our hearts, not just articulated in our heads. And once we do this, once it travels from your head to your heart, changing the way we live becomes a much easier proposition. I know that because that is exactly what happened to me, and it's what I see and witness every single day at 1 Million Women. As a society as a whole, we can't just sign petitions or give to environmental organisations or put pressure on governments and think and march in the streets and think that we are doing our bit when at the same time we live our lives filled with waste and overconsumption. We have to do it all, we have to live it, and we have to fight for it too. In the early stages of changing the way you live, it is the quick wins and the clear results that keeps you going. Getting my electricity bill down, reducing my food waste, buying less stuff, saying no to overpackaging, were things in my immediate control. But what propelled me onto the next step was seeing the result. I had more money in my pocket. I came away from the shopping centre with only what I needed. I was seeing less going into the bin, and I was feeling free from this new approach to life, which was less is more. And that's the essence of 1 Million Women. We take a complex issue when we break it down into these bite-sized chunks. That if I do this, this is the immediate result, and it moves you along this road of empowerment. And we say, just act. Just act in your life. Doesn't matter how small it is, just start acting. It's that action that leads to empowerment, that leads to power, that leads to building your confidence, that leads to finding your voice, that leads to putting pressure on governments and others that aren't acting and supporting those that are. And hopefully, it leads to profound behaviour change. Just think of the difference we would all make if 50% of entire populations bought less stuff. We reduced our food waste by 50%. We left overpackaged goods to sit on the shelf to gather dust. We ate less meat. We drove our cars less. We shared more. If 1 million households in Australia got their electricity consumption down by just 20%, the low-hanging fruit, it could be responsible for shutting down 2 coal-fired power stations. So that's really powerful. Never underestimate the power that we have as individuals. Last year, we conducted a survey with our community on the challenges of food waste, and we got 12,000 people do the survey. We did it in partnership with the New South Wales Government's Love Food Hate Waste program. We love the Love Food Hate Waste program. We've been partnering with them for the last couple of years. We've been trying to dig deep into behaviour change and the challenges with food waste, and why households are doing it in New South Wales. It's a perfect alignment because we want what they want, which is to reduce food waste in every household in New South Wales. We asked a series of questions, and overall, 80% said that they significantly have reduced their food waste and it is the least thing in their bin, which I think is great news. When asked the main reason why they were throwing food out, 54% said that it was left too long in the fridge or the freezer, 25% said family members don't finish their meals, and 20% said food goes off before the use by or best before dates. When asked what food waste measures they were putting in place, 80% said they were using up their leftovers, which is really good. 78% said they were checking their fridge before they went shopping and doing a list. And 60% said they were buying only what they needed. 58% of people said that they use a compost bin. And when asked what the motivation for reducing your food waste was, 88% said for environmental reasons and 77% said because it saved them money. Over the last 8 years of doing 1 Million Women, I have seen community consciousness change dramatically. And doing these kinds of surveys and seeing the results is all part of that. You know, we are living data when it comes to this stuff. We capture insights in real time. We collate honest behaviour patterns every day. And we demonstrate that it's the small actions that show immediate results that do move you on to the bigger lifestyle decisions. We have seen more and more people everywhere challenging the overconsumption and waste issue. More and more people are having this conversation than they did 10 years ago. Conversations about everything from the clothes we wear to the food we eat to what we put on our skin. Conversations about microfibers and microbeads and unsustainable palm oil. Conversations about food waste in landfill and the layers and layers and layers of packaging that end up in our oceans. In my own local Harris farm, I have seen them go from almost everything in packaging in the fruit and veg section to absolutely almost nothing. And I think that is exciting, and I'm seeing those stories everywhere, and I hope that you are too, because what you're doing is part of this story. And I think you should feel really proud. I know it's hard, but you should really feel proud that you are part of this movement. As a former cosmetics manufacturer, I was caught up in the frenzy of waste and packaging. I manufactured 4 brands for Christmas lines for department stores. And by the time my products hit the shelves, and they were the big department stores, it was covered in layers and layers and layers of packaging. And because they're only $9.99 or $14.99, it was just crap. And so by the time you bought it and took it home and ripped off all that packaging under the Christmas tree, in a week's time the product itself would have broken. I would go to the stores the week before Christmas and I would observe behaviour patterns, and I was doing it to see who was buying my product and when and how much of it was going into the trolley. But I really witnessed the unbelievable, crazy world of overconsumption and the madness that takes over us all at Christmas time. The trolleys filled with stuff, filled with cheap stuff that would just break a week later. And as a small manufacturer, I was really caught up in this because the department stores were giving me good money, and how did I survive as a small manufacturer unless I did what they wanted? As consumers, we have so much power to flip this story. If we say no and left this stuff on the shelf, it wouldn't get produced. If people didn't buy my product, I can promise you the department store would not order it again. So we have the power through every dollar we spend. It's that simple. Finally, in July, we're launching our new 1 Million Women app, and I'm really excited about this. It's our new tool. We've been working on it for the last 2 years with some extraordinary partners. And our app is going to give daily climate action, those bite-sized pieces with the quick wins, and move you on to bigger decisions. It's going to show in real time how many of us are acting this very moment, and what the impact of that is. We have learnt through 1 million women that collective efficacy is the key for us, for our movement that moves you to profound behaviour change. Seeing what the movement is doing, knowing that you're part of something bigger, knowing that your actions plus millions of others make a big difference. So our app has got this real-time map that shows you any moment what we're doing. It will help the user profoundly change the way they live, but it will also help us better understand the challenges to behaviour change. It will gather valuable insights into what women are thinking, and blokes too, on lifestyle change, what sticks, what doesn't, what's challenging, what's changing, what's the spillover effect, what's the rebound effect. And we have deliberately created a section for councils. We have designed the app to build in local community activation and capture real-time data and insights. Because our goal is what your goal is, to all the councils in this room. We want engaged local communities to profoundly change the way that they live. And our goal is to empower local communities to act together and be proud of their achievements. We believe collaborating with councils is probably the most important thing we can do with our app. And I just wanted to let you know, because we have now 17 councils on board. We are wanting more. If you're a council in this room and you want to be part of something really exciting, please come and talk to me. Get my email address and email me, because I would love to talk to you. We're wanting to partner with as many councils as we can. So it's been a big journey. And I'd just like to finish off by getting you all to tap your toes, to kind of wriggle in your seats and to get relaxed, because I'm going to show you our anthem. 1 million women in 2015, ahead of the Paris conference, did an anthem. And our anthem is to sell a simple message that only climate action gives you climate hope. It's an anthem from women of the world for everybody. And we wanted this anthem to reach out beyond the United Nations conference, because we wanted it to get to people everywhere, and it's had now 2.8 million views. You'll know this song. It was a glorious project to be part of, and every single word resonates with everything that we're doing. Thank you so much for the work that you do. Enjoy the anthem, sing along, you'll all know it, and have a great conference. Thank you.
Yeah. We have the chance to turn the pages over. We can write what we want to write. We gotta make ends meet before we get much older. We're all someone's daughter. We're all someone's son. Someone's son. Oh, can we look at each other down the barrel of a gun? Try and understand it, make a noise and make it clear. Whoa, we're not gonna sit in silence. We're not gonna live with fear. We know we all can stand together with the power to be powerful.